I'm a beast, got jungle fever. Don't smoke, but I break down the chiba, the chiba. Feel my senorita, you should be her. Buenos dias, clean up, clean cut. Bitch impressed with stock beamers. I won't property dual citizen with the visa. My niggas Ninja Turtles, call me Tracy Sensei. Knock him, mold me a nigga, get out. What's up with it? This is Bella Martrice, and welcome to Ghetto Poet Podcast Radio. So I am live at Edge Studios. So we have Paul here. Say hello, Paul.
Ho, 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 Miss Bella.
Ho, ho, ho. Actually, speaking of hoes, it is Christmas time.
Hey, you were looking directly into my eyes when you said that.
No, I wasn't. He a damn lie. So happy holidays to everybody. I don't believe in Santa Claus. And sometimes I don't know if I don't believe in ho-ho-hoing, but I mean, Paul's a comedian, so he threw that out there. So, so happy holidays to everybody. I don't believe in hoeing, and that was a joke. Boom. But today we have live in the studio San Francisco native with low country Southern Carolina roots. Marquita is a social worker by profession, a dismantler of oppression and justice by passion. She is a writer for healing by necessity. She's a wife, a daughter, a granddaughter, a sister, a auntie, friend, and an ancestor in training. You feel me? Marquita believes that each individual is already equipped with what they need. It is committed to any means that allow access to reconnecting back to truth. If one must live for something, Marquita lives for Black liberation. What's up, killer?
Hey.
We got Marquita in the building live at Edge Studio. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good today. It's good to be here, Tree.
I love your Fillmore sweater.
Brooklyn Circus. It used to be in the Fillmore, but it's not there no more. Bought it from there. Check them out. They probably online still. Black-owned company.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Yeah, I need me one of them ones, but I need to drop the R. I won't feel mo. So we have, you know what? I just told the people a lot about you. So you're actually a San Francisco native. I think, and that's one of the really weird things, especially being natives. We like unicorns, right?
Oh, that's what people say, and they be so surprised every time you tell them.
And then it's so funny because it's like the people that say that they're natives, it's like, that's not what a native is. It'd be like, well, where did your accent come from? They'd be like, yeah, I'm from San Francisco too. No, you're not.
That's not, we don't have an accent, do we?
Somebody actually told me recently that we do have accents.
We do. I guess I don't hear it.
I don't hear it either.
It don't make sense to me.
So being a San Francisco native is being born and raised in San Francisco, which we both were.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
You have a dope journey, and I'm very proud of you as a sister friend. And so right now you're a social worker, a clinical social worker. How is that?
Becoming a clinical social worker, it was an assignment that I leaned into and then I accepted. It wasn't what I was originally planning, but here I am. I always knew when I left Fillmore, graduated from Wallenberg, that I wanted to do something and come back to my community, serve our people in some type of way. I thought I was going to be a pediatric nurse. And then I got hit with that biology and that chemistry in college. And I was like, hell no. No, actually what happened was I had an out-of-body experience while I was in college. And I felt my soul separate from my body. And my soul was like looking down on my body. And I knew that wasn't the path I was supposed to go. So I completed all my pre-med requirements, but I didn't go to med school.
Oh, that's dope because, that's really hard to actually, because I was going to get into radiology at one point. And once I got to look, I was like, oh, so actually completing them and not going forth with it, but actually going towards your soul's calling. That is, I think a lot of people struggle with that. Like, was there any like negative effects of making that decision? Like, how did you navigate that?
Yeah, and I don't think there's ever any negative effects when you follow your soul's calling because you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. No, I mean, was it a slower process than probably what I wanted to do? Yes. I currently work at UCSF, and I'm the director of a perinatal program called Embrace.
Okay.
But I've been there for 15 years. I would definitely say that it took me all 15 years to earn my respect and to be valued with just a master's level degree surrounded by everybody else that has their doctorate.
Mhm.
So there were times where I wondered if I should have gotten my doctorate.
Mhm.
But then I also saw that I was running circles around everybody who had a doctorate,
Mhm.
and I didn't need that to value me.
For real, because you know what, elitism is real, and I think that a lot of people don't understand when navigating, like, career choices,
Hmm.
and even especially your soul's calling. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah,
and not having a doctoral degree
yeah.
and interacting with people who are also educated, then elitism come into play. They didn't know you graduated from Brown University, girl?
Girl, you just gonna throw that out there like that?
Yeah, I mean, you should be very proud of that. I was, shit. I graduated too.
You sure did. Showed up to
Boy,
graduation and said
ooh,
it was yours too.
it was my damn graduation. I was like, we graduating from Brown U to damn Versity. I was only fooling the boy. She walked across that stage. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
I
she
was so
was.
excited,
Yeah.
and to see. But tell me more about Embrace. So, what is the program about?
Yeah. So, Embrace is a perinatal care program. Like I said, we provide race concordant, holistic care, prenatal and postpartum. So,
Okay.
race concordant means that we are all Black team
Oh,
and we
okay.
only serve Black families. And we start with families during pregnancy and we hold them through the first year of life of the child. Um, we got Black OBGYNs, Black midwives, we
Mhm.
have Black therapists, we have Black doulas, we have Black pelvic floor therapists, we have Black lactation consultants. I
Mhm.
mean, just literally all the way around. And we hold the families. They never want to leave. I think as our program grows, what we hope to do is expand beyond the perinatal period and really have this framework of race concordant care across the lifespan. So our goal is to eventually have a pediatric arm,
Okay.
have a women's health arm, have a family community medicine arm,
Mhm.
and adult primary care, so that the whole entire family can be seen in one place at one
That's
time.
so dope because also it will probably prevent, like, a lot of prevention, especially in our community. And I think one reason, I mean, a lot of things that people don't know is that Black women are dying in hospitals during
Birth
giving birth
and
higher than
after.
anybody else, and also access to holistic resources
Yeah.
and knowledge of holistic resources is
Mm-hmm.
also discouraged. And
Yeah.
also, I think the way that the information is distributed
Whew.
to our community
Mm.
is, I feel like it's inaccessible because we grew up in Fillmore, but we grew up in an area to where it's like, okay, there's a Whole Food right there on Fillmore and Haight Street, to
Yeah.
where the access
Yeah.
to holistics and then to navigating, I feel like navigating that knowledge. Like, I have a 15-year-old, as you know, and there's so much I didn't know and still don't know as a mother.
Mm-hmm.
So the work that y'all doing is phenomenal. I didn't even know anything like that existed.
Yeah, we've been small. We started back in 2018.
Hmm.
Like we've intentionally kept ourselves small and been quiet about it because our team, it's only been like four of us.
Hmm.
We now have like a team of six. We grow into a team of 12 in the new year.
Okay.
So the bigger capacity we have, then we'll put more word out there because people be coming knocking on the doors,
Right. I'm
trying
sure
to
they
get
ain't
in and get
trying to break
services.
that damn door
Man,
down.
listen, we full, we full, we full. So yeah, we've kept it low because we didn't want to build up a waiting list. So many of our families are put on waiting lists and have to wait indefinitely,
Hmm.
and that's not really fair to them.
Right.
So our plan was, let's prove our concept, let's get the resources,
Hmm.
let's expand, and then we make it available to everybody.
I know that must be really rewarding. What has been like like a rewarding moment working in that environment, like with the families and.
You know, there are so many different moments. Some might would say so. The Vice President Kamala Harris, she came out to visit our program
Okay.
a couple of years ago. That's like one highlight for a certain group of people, but for us, the highlight of that particular moment was when we told everybody in the university that this was an all Black event. Period. And we negotiated with the vice president office that all the speakers were black, that all the attendants were black, that we got to set the agenda. So we put a message out to everyone that we are deliberate um, and conscious about the work that we do. And we keep it within our community and we serve our community.
I don't. I think that a lot of people, like when it comes down to like issues of race, culture, and stuff like that, they when you say it's all black, like there's times where people, they get a little fidgety. I
Oh,
don't think
yeah.
that they realize how many other cultures do it and everybody claps them on. But when it comes, especially black women, I mean, when we say we about to do something and nobody else
They get
included,
scared.
oh, they be like, what they doing? What they doing? Boy, I gotta go spy on them.
They get scared.
How did it feel? Okay, I got a question because what I'm saying, we adults. How did that feel? Because imagine, like, who would ever think that we'll be having this type of conversation? Like, we
Yeah.
talking to grown killer.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
thinking back to being a student, being from Fillmore, and to be in that type of space and be like, hey, you know what? Actually, it's all black and it's all women. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think I could have held my damn smirk. I think they'd have fired me that day. So how did what was that feeling? Like, tell me about it. I'm sure it was.
I mean, I don't know. I'm at a different place where actually it was probably like around exactly 6 years ago when we first started Embrace. I had hit a point in my career where I was tired of being the only one that looked like me in the room. I was tired of having to teach those who didn't look like me how to treat me. And I had decided that enough was enough, that was taking too much of my energy. And actually, it was Dr. Theopia Jackson. Shout out to her. She was the president of the Black Psychology Association at the time. But she looked at me and she said straight up, "What are you doing? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You're not following your calling. Are you honoring your ancestors?" And this was a Black psychologist that looked at me and said this. And
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
"Oh, I'm doing this BIPOC stuff." And she said, "BIPOC?
Could you say what? Could you say what BIPOC is?
Yeah, Black, Indigenous, people of color."
Okay.
And so at that time, I was doing a collective for
Okay.
multiracial, every race.
Right.
And she said, "You're not focused."
Mm. You're not focused on black women, is what she was saying to you.
You're not focused on Black people.
Mm-hmm.
And that she took my edges. My heart was hurt because here I was, thought I was doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat with that and I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to work and I'm fighting every day to do what I want to do the right way for my community, having to explain myself. And I just decided at that point, actually, I only want to do the work that I am meant to do with those who look like me for the people who look like me. And that just made everything easier. And I just became unapologetic at that point. And decided at that point that UCSF can fire me. I don't care.
And for anybody who ever wonder why I call her Killer, I'm the originator of that nickname.
She is.
And that's why
She
is
is.
because that hard spirit and everybody I think earned their names, and she definitely earned it and put that stamp on it. I know that's a good ass feeling to be able to say fuck you to everybody like that. It is
Man.
liberating. I'm about to go apply for universities because maybe I'll be a doctor one day.
Why not?
Do you have a
Right.
silly spelling for killer for her?
Killa, kill.
Killer.
Yeah,
Okay.
killer.
That
Cool.
would be it.
That would be
Alright.
it. And there's a lot of great songs that like me killer, me no surrender. You feel me? We 80s baby, you dig? And this is the type of things that I feel like growing up in like San Francisco, like being a black woman, now, like going from, kids to, teenagers to young adults to women. If these type of programs were intact, I wonder what could have manifested in our communities if we had access to those type of resources. Like I feel like a lot of things that I did was from a lack of knowledge, a lack of support, a lack of just a lack thereof, a lack of being able to be myself unapologetically. I feel like it was
Yeah.
always a fight
Yeah. Yeah.
with our identities. So now, like, to see all these spaces are opening up, and the people that are making these spaces available, it's like, oh my god, it's so beautiful to watch and to witness. And that's why I have Ghetto Poet podcast for people to come through and
Straight up.
share those type of stories. So thank you for coming. I want to give a shout out to all my listeners, all you people out there, you feel me, in internet land. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys do any fundraising for the
Uh,
Embrace?
nah, we haven't done a lot of fundraising. I've written a few grants, gotten a few dollars. I will say, like, we aren't greedy when it comes to money. Like, if we got what we need, that's what we need. I think a lot of programs will just keep going after dollars, after dollars, after
They're
dollars.
called wealth hoarders,
Facts, facts.
poverty pimps.
But I was just getting ready to say that, and so I am very conscious.
Yeah.
I very much could go that route and just be bringing in lots and lots and lots of money.
Right.
But we have what we need to do what we need, and so I don't feel the need to just be out here just raising unnecessary dollars if everything is paid for and taken care of, which right now it is. When it gets to that point when it's not, then I'll hit the streets again. Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe.
I like that, maybe.
Mhm.
What about with school? Because you mentioned like your interaction being in an environment when you have a lower, you know what I'm saying, degree.
Degree.
Like, how was it navigating? I mean, school just in general, especially like going to like Ivy League, like coming from the Bay, coming from Fillmore,
Man, felt like a fish out of water. Uh, Probably out of our whole crew, I think, and you could tell me if I was wrong.
Okay.
I think I was like the squarest one out of all of us, the quietest one, the one who was always ready to go home if need be. And when I got to Brown, I felt like so odd and out of place and didn't fit in. Not just with everybody who was there, but just the black people who was there.
Yeah, because I remember we went on a trip, and I met your friends, and they wasn't our type of black.
Stop it.
No, I'm not saying it like that, but like being from the Bay Area,
No, they was different. They was
scared.
different.
No, I'm saying you can have the same skin, but not have the same social
for
experience,
sure.
not have the
Absolutely.
not have the same backgrounds and stuff like
No.
that. And yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that you were the squarest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get in any trouble.
No.
Yeah, you always had a great self-preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all was doing too much.
It was a little
They
a
were
little
the
wild.
cautionary tale.
It was a cautionary tale
Yeah,
at
like-
times.
Wasn't
Your
that
mom would be, don't do what those guys are doing. Yeah, got you.
we wasn't that damn we was mischievous.
Yeah.
We were mischievous. We all had our own degrees
What's that
of
movie
specialties.
where was that movie where the kids, was it like Lord of the Flies, where they were like all on the island, like
Oh, by
basically-
themselves? Yeah,
by
I done seen that
themselves?
shit.
Yeah, that's Lord of the Flies.
That kind of felt like what our little crew was, Lord of the Flies at
Wow.
times.
Just kind of figuring out things, It was
Yeah.
just like, okay, how does this go? And we were all like, it was like a committee, huh?
Man, it was.
It was a
like, It was
committee.
massive. It was about what, 10 of us?
Yeah.
And it
Always.
was survival of the fittest. Who was running the show? Always
Everybody.
somebody different.
Everybody. And everybody made it.
There you go.
No, and I think that's the most beautiful thing about it is that none of us are strung out on dope.
Nope.
None of us are like prostitute. None of us are, you know what I'm saying? Like I could honor, everybody has some sort of degree,
Yeah.
certification.
Something.
They got something shit. They doing a whole bunch of fly shit. Shout out to all my film on niggas that made it. You feel me? Because a lot of us,
Hey.
and two, within that transition, a lot of people have died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not that was in our immediate circle,
Mhm.
but just around. So it's
Around
like
us. Yeah.
we had to have done something right
Oh, I think we were protected. Like
by
now-
God, Lord Jesus,
Ooh.
or our ancestors.
Ooh, literally, you can, I mean, there's so many times when I could just think about some of the stupid shit we would get into. And clearly there was other people, spirits, ancestors watching us, guiding us, clearing things out the way to make sure that we got to where we are right now.
What would you say has been one of the things that you brought from Fillmore, like to, because you went to UC Berkeley for a while too?
Oh, I just did a summer there. I didn't like UC Berkeley.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though. I'm saying you got the hard hitter, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, as a motherfucker from Fillmore, you should be proud of that. to even be able to say, "Oh, I didn't like UC Berkeley.
It came out again. I told you. Told you.
I didn't like UC
I
Berkeley."
did. I was coming home. I was crossing that bridge. That community also didn't feel like home and felt weird. So what is the question exactly, Tracy?
What I don't remember because then I was
We'll rewind it and play it for you.
Right. Okay, so what tools as a young lady did you
Mhm.
use to navigate school, and what tools do you wish you had that you
Mm,
didn't have?
mm, mm. What tools did I have? I mean, I always had my elders, my grandparents, in my life. Um, I always had prayer.
Hmm.
I always knew how to talk to spirit.
Mhm.
I had a solid group of friends, y'all.
Right.
Like no matter where we were in our lives, no matter who went this direction, that direction, at the end of the day, we still all had each other. So I had a very secure base. Um, and that took me farther than anything. I was committed, so wasn't raised by either one of my parents.
Mhm.
My father was incarcerated my whole entire childhood. He didn't get out until after I graduated, what, like 23 years old. And then my mom struggles with a lot of things and wasn't able to raise me.
Mhm.
Um, and having all of that, being the oldest of seven siblings,
Mhm.
I knew that somebody had to get somewhere. And I was committed to getting to where I needed
Mhm.
to be stable, to hold things down, to be a reliable person for the next generation. And I feel like I've checked those boxes. So that's what kept me on the straight and narrow. Somebody had to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, and I always knew that I was smart. Um, Being intelligent is a gift that is given to you, and things came easy intellectually for me,
Mm.
and I didn't take that for granted. I used that to my best ability, use that to my best power. What would I do differently now? Man, I think I would have had more fun. I was very serious. I was very
You
focused.
were. You were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of things that I think I would have done, painted outside the lines a little bit more, while I was in college, in school. Even though I did a lot of stuff, but still,
Mhm.
I think I would have took a lot more risk, to tell a story. You stay on the straight and narrow, and you stay focused, but really life is about being able to tell a story, and in order to tell a story, you got to live. So I would have
But I
took
feel
more
like you
risk.
did that. Like what you would have did.
I ain't about to say that on this mic.
What you would have did. That's all. We talk about it after.
Okay.
But that is pretty courageous that you would just go back and take more chances.
I would take more chances.
And you know what? To be honest with you, I feel like that was one thing I would do. I'll be like, fuck it, I want to be a rapper, motherfucker.
That's what you did.
I did do, and I was like, bang, bang, Niner gang.
The original.
Right, the original. And then two was
E40.
like, yeah, child E40. Paper, my skrilla, my scratch. My heaters, my bitches, my batch. I love Uncle Earl, man. Come on, Ghetto Poet. I ain't giving you no money though. You feel me? But so I think that, but I feel like there's been like things that we have and the things that we have to sacrifice, we have to hold true to them because here we is at the same, like we boom, we this age. I did that. I got the podcast. Guess what? I'm still in my lane. You still in your lane.
Yeah.
And guess what is? I'll be looking at you like, God damn it, I should have been at Brown too. You get what I'm saying? But
And
then
you still
too,
can.
girl, please, yes, I'm about to be. Well, I don't know if I want to go all the way out there, but it was like I was looking at programs at like Harvard and shit, and I'm just thinking like, do I really?
Mhm.
Because I feel like part of white supremacy is that we look at these institutions that was rooted
Mhm.
in sexism and racism and excluding us, and then we look at them for like social validation, where and that's where elitism come in at is
Yeah.
that people
Yeah.
take these titles and these accolades and stuff like that. So I feel like a part of me also struggles with education and stuff like that. But like I mean, like I mean, am I staying true to myself by trying to get into these institutions as if they will validate my existence? And the real question, I mean, the real answer is fuck no. I mean, I don't need
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's an important conversation for us to have as Black women, like who, like that was so dope that you said that. You know what I'm saying? Like it called, like your profession called to your spirit.
It did.
That is phenomenal because a lot of people go through life and they don't be keeping it 100 that they
Yeah.
are somewhere where they know they spirit ain't supposed to be. See, every time I try to get into some shit, God just slapped me back into the shit I'm supposed to be in.
Every
Single time it be like, oh, you think you want to do this?
Nope.
Nope. Bow.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I mean, the schools are the schools, which is part of the reason why I don't have my doctorate. I think I will go back and get it one day though, but I will go back and get it now. Just just like I'm going to the grocery store to pick up tomatoes and shit. Like it's nothing at this point. It's not. I don't need it to define who I am. So now I feel a lot more confident and secure in being able to go get it and not lose myself. I remember my mom told me when I told her I wanted to become a doctor, she started crying.
Oh.
And she said, no, please don't do it. She said, I don't want to lose you. And I didn't know what she meant. I was 15 at the time. And I remember I just remember feeling heartbroken, like, you my mom, you're not supposed to do this. You're supposed to encourage me. What you mean you telling me don't do it? I didn't know until I came across a Black woman who was a doctor about 12 years ago. And I saw the version of myself that I could have become if I had followed what I thought I was supposed to do, and not listen to my mom. Now I feel like I can go get a doctor because I know who I am, and that doctor won't turn me into something that I'm not.
Would you mind like explaining what kind of person she was, or what it was that you didn't?
Oh, sure. You know how they say all skin folk ain't kinfolk?
Yeah.
Listen, just because something looks one way on the outside, on the inside is something completely different. What I recognized in her was a woman who was Black, but did not have pride or honor her Blackness. And she did everything in her power to appear white. She surrounded herself by white people. She was validated by them. And she got very far and got a lot of money doing so. And I could still see how insecure she was, even though she had all the things. She married the husband, the multi-million-dollar husband from tech, got 2 houses, one over here, one over there, driving this car, got this title. She had all those things, and she was still miserable.
That probably wasn't her soul's calling.
I don't know what was.
Well, yeah, she'll have to find that out. Hopefully, she's able to find that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to put her on the sick and shut in list.
The
sick and shut in list.
Sick and shut in?
Yeah. So when you grow up in the Black church, the sick and shut in list is the list that you put people on when you want to pray for them.
Oh, okay, girl, put me on that list. But not the sick and shut in. Pray for me.
Always.
Yeah, see that I think that's something that's interesting, and I feel like a lot of the times, and that's why I feel like it's really important to have representation, especially I feel like I remember I remember I was writing this book, and I've been starting on all these different books like a million times. And when I read, it wasn't Zora Neale Hurston. Who was it? She's a Black feminist. I want to talk about Lord. Not Audre Lorde. Damn, she's another popular one. Fuck, her name is on the tip of my tongue. But I remember, okay, her introduction, she just, and I've spoken on this a few times, she was just asking, she was like, she was struggling writing this book. And I feel like people don't understand a lot of Black people's internal struggles is not trying to cater to the white audience, not trying to cater to colonialism, not trying to cater to white supremacy, and to speak to our inner selves, like you said, like our ancestors, or what it is that we are without diluting it. And in this introduction, she was like, I was struggling writing this book, and I was like, who am I talking to?
Toni Morrison?
No, you know I love Toni. I forgot her now. It's like on the tip of my tongue. And she's like, I'm talking to Black women like me.
Yeah.
And when I read that, I just felt liberated. I was like, oh my God, this has been my problem. But these are the type of dialogues that are often forsaken when it comes to Black women. And I don't know if I said this before, but recently, like maybe like last year, I went to this Indian store because I love me some Indian food.
Yeah.
Shit. So,
Spicy.
oh yeah, and it was this bulletin and had all these different businesses, and I just became a notary, and I was like, yeah, this is perfect, I'm gonna go. And I was like, oh, okay, I seen the event. I was like, oh, I was like, oh, I want to come. And da, da, da. She was like, you can't. And I was like, why? Why? Like, I was, because she's so nice to me,
Yeah.
And she's like, you're not Indian.
Ah.
And I had a brief like emotional. I was like, I don't know what to feel about that. I'm like, we need our own shit too, to where you're not a motherfucking allowed.
Period.
And not to say segregation, but segregating the thing, that the preservation. I think we need safe spaces and the preservation of our authentic thoughts that might be offensive to the other people, because we're not saying them to offend you. You get what I'm saying? So in places where, like, I think a lot of this poverty pimping had, like, from people externally coming into our communities trying to tell us what we need, when we could provide what we need. So stop taking our resources and trying to distribute them to us to what it is that you think we need.
Well, isn't that true expression? You shouldn't have to worry about how people think or act as long as you're not hurting someone. You should be able to act and talk the way you want without feeling of retribution.
It should be, but everybody get pissed off when Black women start talking, including Black men. So, and I think that's another thing that I want to talk about, is being a feminist. Like, you the one who sent me the book Hood Feminism. Let's speak on it. And you know what? I feel like there's this hatred towards feminists. Once I start reading that goddamn book, I was like, God damn it, I'm a hood motherfucking feminist. Fuck that shit. Because I was I had to,
You probably acted a fool.
I had to put that damn book down. I said, I'm gonna go to jail. Damn it.
That's how I felt after listening to Kendrick Lamar's last album.
You know, I'll be having to take his
ass.
ass in doses, because I'll be like, all my life I had to fight, nigga. I said, he one of my favorite motherfucking, I don't give a fuck.
Man.
He's one of my favorite rappers, period. I could see that nigga at a poetry reading on Hate Street. You feel me?
Everywhere. It don't even matter.
Real. Nah, for real. I love Kendrick Lamar.
I understand that energy.
I feel that there has yet to be a female that has encompassed that hood feminism.
It's
and
you.
I know it's me, damn it. And I need some more literature.
That's right.
If anybody,
this president right now,
the hood feminist president, goddamn it.
Period.
You feel me? Period. You feel me? The ghetto poet president, motherfucker. Well, I am that. So, but I feel like people need to open up. I feel like there's a lot of how could I say it? Talk about hood feminism, because I feel like you could eloquently explain it. You have the right tone of voice. I feel like you're so much more approachable. I feel like it just turned people off. Like,
that's their problem.
That is their goddamn problem. That's what I'm saying. That's why me and you do not need to be nowhere together.
That's their problem. Why we gotta tiptoe around other people? That's hood feminism.
That's what I'm saying.
Not tiptoeing around nobody. So I had a reading just a couple of days ago. What's today's Monday. I had a reading on Saturday by, shout out to Baba Skip in East Oakland. He's part of the Yoruba tradition. And out of that reading came the assignment of take your crown. And not waiting for somebody to give it to you. You already know that it's yours. You already know you have the power. What are you waiting for? So I'm holding on to that. And I'm also holding on to something my grandfather told me, which is, even when you're in a relationship, so I'm married, have a husband, and my grandfather looked me straight in my face and say, sometimes you got to lead. And this was coming from a Black man born in 1938 in South Carolina.
Okay.
Looking at me saying, it's okay, you woman, take the lead. That's who you're meant to be. So for me, when I think about hood feminism, it is, you know, your power, fully exert it, no matter what. I do not switch up how I talk when I'm at UCSF.
Mm-hmm.
I do not switch up the sound of my voice. I do not change my words. I talk like I talk, and that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care where I'm at. It has gotten me the respect that I need wherever I go. And if I am invited somewhere, I speak somewhere, I say what's on my mind, and I ain't invited back, I know I did what I was supposed to do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are who you are authentically.
Everybody's got to be their own soundboard, right? Even like before we started today's show, I said, go ahead and let's do a sound check. I don't go, hey, you need to speak up because you're just too loud. It means I got to adjust for you.
Man, you did.
Right. But that's how life should be. You just got to get over yourself, folks. You just got to realize that everybody's an individual. And if we weren't, we'd all be robots and AI. And, well, that's the next story.
Yeah.
How important do you think education is?
And I ain't talking about formal education either. I ain't talking about formal education either. So I think about, when I was playing sick as a kid and had to stay home from school and was kept by my grandmother, sitting by her, listening to her talk. That's education.
Right.
Hopping on the back of the lawnmower with my grandfather, him talking, that's education.
Right.
Going to vacation Bible school, going to Sunday school.
Shout out to Vacation Bible School.
Man, listen,
For real.
that's education, right? You know how we used to be ripping and running through the Tenderloin up and down Market Street, and we would have conversations with anyone, literally anyone, no matter who they was, what they looked like, or what they had in their pockets.
That is education.
That's education.
You didn't have these safe streets with people escorting you down the corridor.
No. Yeah. So always keeping yourself in a position of learning, wanting more, and knowing more, and seeking it yourself. Don't wait for people to give you what you need to know. You go find it. And that's something like my father, who was incarcerated, he would send me books. That was like our way of communicating with each other. For his whole 20-year sentence, he would send me books and he would write letters, and we would converse about the books that he sent me. One of the first ones that he sent me was I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I remember getting to that part in the story where Maya Angelou finally got that job on the train car here in San Francisco.
Okay.
And how empowered she felt, how determined she was to get that job, and how liberating it was for her to finally be in that position and doing something that made her feel good. That was education. Open a book, read, y'all.
And I think a lot of people don't know how much of a lopsided education or views that they have. So I think that one thing too is, if you think something, also expose yourself to the polar opposite of what it is that you're consuming. Because sometimes you could just have an opinion based on your lack of knowledge. Like something that I've always challenged I'm a curious cat, and
she is.
I really am. So
what was the name of that cat that you had?
Quill.
Quill.
Yeah, remember she was after that movie?
Yeah.
About the crazy. Oh Lord.
What happened to Quill?
Oh Lord, long story. We talk about it after.
Okay.
But she lived a very long.
Doing 10 and quitting right now.
No.
We'll talk about it.
Quill was a thug. She had boyfriends.
She was.
She would get pregnant. She would have babies. She'll
Yes,
run
she
off.
would.
Our pause that said thug life.
Yeah. She had like other boy cats looking for her. It was that cat was crazy. But Quill's is actually the writing utensil. It's the feather where you dip it in the ink and you write. So, damn, what was your question? I started thinking about that damn cat.
I know. You said that you are a cat, and then that made me think
I'm
about
a
Quill.
curious cat. Oh yeah, I'm a Leo too. Shit.
Yeah.
So I've always been a curious cat. And what was the question? All right, shit.
We was talking about learning and the power of education.
Oh, the power of education. Boom. So therefore, anytime there's something, I'm like, oh, what is these other motherfuckers saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Because I feel like unless you have
a whole perspective,
perspective, like, okay, the
Mm-hmm.
pros, the cons,
Mm-hmm.
from different perspective. Let's say, like,
Mm-hmm.
right now, like, I've been hearing people talk about abortion, and the things I'm reading, I'm like, they must not, your opinion is invalid because you haven't even got all the information. There's medical abortions where people are getting them
Mm-hmm.
because their life could be at risk. So
Mm-hmm.
they might have to abort the fetus in order for them to live.
Mm-hmm.
They should have that type of choice. That's
Mm-hmm.
just an example of
Mm-hmm.
something.
Mm-hmm.
But the more information that I know that I receive about any subject, then the more informed I am to be like, now I can say how I feel about it because I know, and I feel like people have that really bad to where they don't research enough and listen with an intention of understanding. I think people go into stuff with bad intentions, even when they
Man.
read, and
Yeah.
it'd be like, I believe this and I want to validate it, so I'm only gonna
Ooh, that
subject
happened to me a
myself.
couple of weeks ago.
Would you mind telling us about it?
Yeah, somebody I wrote a whole entire email, and this person decided to pick one part of the email out and reply back to me based on that one part. And my reply back to that individual was recopying and pasting what the fuck I said the first time, and and said, give me an opinion about this whole entire thing. Don't just take out one part that speaks to your intention and your motive. Address the whole thing of what I said, not just what you want to address, sir. Ugh, hate when I do that.
Yeah, it's like in willful ignorance.
Willful ignorance.
Willful ignorance. And then too, it's spiteful. I think that a lot of people, and I think another thing is that we have a lot of things that are rooted in, like, a lot of opinions and feelings towards things that are rooted in popular culture.
Oof.
And like
This
people,
TikTok education.
you know, I just got on TikTok, but I don't be like, they be like, everything. My daughter, she's like, yeah, she's making this fucking, what is it called, macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
So we're at the grocery store and she's grabbing some fucking flour, and I'm like, what are you doing with that?
She gonna make a rule, I'm assuming.
Right, but I ain't never seen this shit before. I was like, I ain't never seen it. I said, what is you doing? She's like, well, I'm gonna, and she's talking all confident about it, and she's like, I'm making a macaroni and cheese, and I'm like, well, who put the flour in it? She's like, I seen it on TikTok.
Yeah, it's like TikTok University.
Right,
think
they
they're
act like
taking that.
TikTok Jesus.
Yeah, y'all. There's more education to take in outside of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Go pick up a book. Go to the library. Remember we used to go to the library?
dude, I was like the library queen. I used to be like, oh, they got. Have you been down to this library in a while?
I haven't. I heard they got a picture of Maya Angelou.
And also, they have a studio for the teen center. They
they?
have, dude, you know how the Matrix, how you used to be able to, on
Yeah.
the thing where they touch.
Yeah.
Girl, they been having that. And let me see, I was there when it first opened. They have a studio. It's so, that library right here has always been like the dopest library.
been. It
Period.
has been.
I don't think anywhere else rivals that library.
Maybe not here in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
There's other places like New York.
Oh yeah, New York, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, sure.
yeah. Go to the library, y'all. Use your library card. And they also got this app, Libby. You can check out books on your phone. You ain't even got to go to the library no
Dude.
more. No excuses, and it's free.
It is okay. Boom. So they got the audio books. They got music.
They
They
do.
have movies. So you could get you a San Francisco Public Library card. I actually met the black librarian, and she bought my book. So guess what? You could go get Bella Martrice paint. I mean, not paint me dope. The Poet's Promise to be dope at the damn San Francisco Public Library. Shout out to the black librarians. You feel me? So I mean, but that's so dope. Like I love this kind of conversation because it's like, who the fuck would have thought this real nigga would have been in the San Francisco Public Library?
Public library.
I did. I ain't gonna lie. I knew it.
Yeah.
That was one of my goals.
That was one of your goals.
Back then. I was like, I'm gonna be in the motherfucking library.
The public library.
Right. So, and I look forward to seeing like what this new generation do, like,
Yeah.
because they're pretty like
Yeah.
they're pretty dope.
Yeah, they're
They're
different.
different.
They're different.
Very different.
I know. That's how you know we getting old, because I'm having to be mindful of not talking the way that our elders talked about us when we was their age. So I want to respect that this new generation, that they're headed on a different path, and I trust y'all. Go.
I do it. Shout out to my niece Leia. You see that LSU?
Leia
You feel me? Shout out
player.
to
I
Alea.
know. She getting ready to graduate.
Yeah, I know. I gotta go.
LSU.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yep.
And I'm just so happy to just see how education has been seen like infectious. You know what I'm saying? I remember going on black college tours with my partners and stuff like that, and coming to visit you and when you was at Brown graduating and stuff like that. So I've had a semi black, you know what I'm saying, like cultural experience when it comes down to education. And for my niece to be graduating, the first graduate out of all the kids, and she the oldest, you feel
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, she
That's
was. She was the
that's
first
the
baby.
dope, you
Out
know.
of
Shout out to
everybody.
her parents for putting in that work, you feel
Man,
me?
they
Because it's
did.
very hard to navigate.
And they was teenage parents.
Absolutely to
Raised a
navigate.
scholar.
Right, graduating from LSU from Fillmore. You feel me?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's why I represent that filthy the way I do. Damn it. I know people, and it's funny. You know, another thing is like where we're from. Like I remember back in the day, whatever I was telling my sister in LA, Brittany, about just growing up. I remember I was like probably like 16, 17. I'm like, yeah, and I'm telling her about Fillmore, and she looked at me serious as fuck. She was like, Tracy, are you in a gang? And I'm like, what? A gang? Ain't no damn gangs in San Francisco. And it's funny because I feel like even with being black and our identity and stuff like that, like we always criminalize for everything. Like, why can't we be from Fillmore and be proud? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't
Yeah.
nobody talking to them bitches like, I'm from Calabasas. Like, don't they got shirts and shit?
Yeah, they do.
Do they got a song? Well, maybe they need to make them a goddamn song and they can be proud. Cause I'm from the filth, I'm from the filthy.
Period.
I be hella proud because I feel like there's so much like history.
Oh yeah.
Like they called us the Harlem of the West. You know what I'm saying? Billie Holiday. I mean so much Toni Morrison. Like there's so much
They all came here. They all came here. It was a breeding ground for artists, for activists, for feminists, for all of that. They came here, and part of the spirit of liberation carried a little bit further when it touched this West Coast thing over here, and then yeah, so being proud of coming from Fillmore is where it's at.
Right. There's actually NAACP. I wonder is it still right there on Fillmore? And what was that?
I don't know.
It was right by Yoshi's.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was. 'Cause I remember I marched in there like I was just Harriet Tubman. Like, check this out, man. We need the Underground Railroad right now. Look, let me tell you what the fuck is going on. I really was serious. Remember, I was.
You was.
So
you probably had a briefcase and everything.
I probably the fuck did.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's something that's very that I know I'm connected to as far as my ancestors, where I'm at, like I think there's a unique experience us being 80s babies because you know what I'm saying, the crack epidemic like devastated, our communities, and a lot of us was raised by our grandparents. So I feel like we damn near our generation, like mostly everybody I know was being raised by their fucking grandparents. So that our parents, like they was like afterthoughts. It was like fundamentally like my nana, grandma Emma, like them were the head honchos. So I feel like coming from like back to hood feminism is like when I look at it in everybody else's household, I mean, we really come from like matriarchs. Like we really didn't live. Yeah. We didn't grow up in patriarchal infrastructures within our households. And I noticed that with a lot of just blacks in general. It's like we come from very black woman led families that kept shit together, like for real.
Yeah, and that's a complicated history. One, I'll say that outside of the U.S., it is not uncommon for cultures to exist underneath matriarchal leadership. So it's a Western thing for it to be patriarchal the way that it is.
Right.
And then two, back in the 70s, there was this movie Claudine. Is it Claudine? I think. I'm gonna have to Google it in a second. I think it's called Claudine. But it tells the story of like in the 70s when child welfare intentionally and purposely extracted the black man out of the home.
Okay.
In order for families who needed to for families in order to survive and to get their welfare, the father could not be in the house. And so oftentimes the father either would be hiding in the closet or he would have to leave the house. And back then the child welfare folks were doing these random pop-ups, and so you never knew when they would come. And they would that was sort of the beginning of the intentional extraction structurally by the government to remove the black man out of the household. So now when they out in the streets trying to, get away so that their family can get some money, they out there getting money too. And then they getting caught up in a lifestyle. Incarceration. And then the whole incarceration phenomenon that came up in in the 1980s. What's that? Reagan shenanigans. War on drugs, and how a lot of
just say no with Nancy Reagan and stuff,
all of that nonsense, where it's like my father was a victim of that, where he served a double sentence for selling drugs. He got 20 years for selling drugs when really he should have had only 10 years, but back then they were criminalizing and incarcerating folks double mandatory sentences. So
they were getting the people on the streets instead of the drugs coming into the country.
Exactly. So there was an intention. Yes, black women have held it down because we need to, but there's also been a structural intention of removing black men out of the household so that women have to do it on their own. And I don't think that we have educated ourselves enough about that and know that history so that we can do the healing that we need to do within our community and sort of these broken, fragmented ways of connecting with each other. Like, yeah, that nigga ain't shit. Yeah, this nigga ain't doing that. Yeah, that nigga ain't doing that. It's a lot of history behind that. And I just think that we need some healing to figure out how to come back together and be a family unit again. And the name of the movie is Claudine. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It came out in
1974.
In 1974. It's a really good movie.
And I'm gonna be honest, I'm guilty of that, and I'm like I'm an internet arguer.
You're just an arguer.
I'm an internet arguer. Yes, but I haven't been in Facebook jail, penitentiary in like 7 months.
Listen, Trace used to be acting a fool
Oh, goddamn! So ain't no telling what I'll be doing. But I would be sitting up there, and so I am guilty of that because I honestly, I needed to hear that from a black woman, but I feel like the intentions by you saying that was pure, and I feel like a lot of people are, and this is my favorite word, and it's just slipping up out my head. I feel like people are ingenuine when they are presenting facts. Now, when you present facts within healing and with the intention of understanding, I feel like I'm always willing to listen when I know the intention is pure. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's one thing is institutionalized racism and stuff like that, but then there's also fuckery. So what I'm saying is that in shenanigans. So we know there's institutionalized racism, all that kind of stuff, and we've been fucked up. But let's not.
There still needs to be accountability.
There needs to be accountability
and integrity.
So therefore, I feel like a lot of people are ingenuous. I mean, not ingenuous. The word is just like slipping and rolling around my head like a marble. They're disingenuous. A lot of the conversations that they're had. So it's not that I'm not acknowledging, you know what I'm saying, that
history,
the history or anything else like that. What it is I just need to call out when people are being disingenuous. And I feel like people have a problem with that because they're acting like I'm not evading the facts, but I'm calling out you being ingenuine and you weaponizing a fact when you know damn well that your intentions wasn't pure from the motherfucking beginning. Stop acting like you don't know that and weaponizing history. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and I'm glad that I done read enough goddamn books.
Yeah.
It did enough internal navigation in order for me to communicate that, because I feel like people also attack, like I be seeing a lot of, fuck these podcasts. They bring on these bitches that they know ain't got no goddamn sense and that they want to fuck and ask them questions. They know these hoes ain't got the mental capacity to bring me on there. I got some good cleavage. I'll give me a nice weave that day too. You know what I'm saying? Just don't put it by my stomach. And we could talk that shit and I'm gonna bring Killer with me. What's that bald head dude name, boy? I wanted to bring me on there.
Charlemagne.
Charlotte, I could just no, actually I'm more mature now. Yeah, I could go on a Breakfast Club. I could, but I wasn't talking about him. It's fresh and fit.
I don't know that one.
Girl, don't even waste your damn time putting that bullshit in your algorithm. But one thing I feel like when it comes down to black relationships, I think it's that easy. I think if we're genuine, we're intentional, we're empathetic, and have a true intention of wanting to understand and a true intention of wanting to heal.
Yeah.
I don't think some people want to heal and to go
Well,
through
the thing is, when we talk about healing, people think that, it's all roses. Healing is rough. Healing is rocky. Healing is getting tossed up on your head about 5 times and
Right.
still picking yourself back up. Healing ain't cute. People want healing to be cute. It ain't meditation and stuff like that. It's about tripping up over and over and over and over again, busting your knee, busting your head, and getting back up again. I think the other thing about healing, shout out to this book. It's called Break the Cycle. And it talks about breaking intergenerational trauma transmission in families. And what I like about this author, Dr. Muriel Bouquet, what she does is she brings in ancestral and spiritual forms of healing, not just talk therapy, to help people figure out how to disrupt the pattern of trauma going down from one person in the family to another person in the family. Part of doing healing work is taking accountability from the inside out. If you're not ready to take accountability from the inside out, you ain't ready to heal, because healing starts with you. It don't start with somebody else over there doing this or doing that. It starts with you acknowledging whatever truths you need to tell yourself, because we all lie to ourselves every day.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, right now it's like it being the holidays, and I'm sick of this fictitious shit. Like I ain't had no Christmas tree in hella long. You know,
I put a mind.
I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? But
You know what? I saw something that said put cookies out for Harriet Tubman this year, because they talked about a story of when Harriet Tubman, one of her last journeys back to go free was to free her brothers, and her brothers was supposed to be sold the next day after Christmas. She got word of it, and she went and rescued her brothers and got them out of slavery on Christmas Day. And so I saw this posting on Instagram. I can't remember who posted it, but they said, if you're gonna put cookies out for somebody, don't put it out for Santa, put it out for Harriet Tubman and feed her spirit.
I used to tell my kids something very similar. I would say, leave cookies out for that hairy tubby man.
And that's you.
Yes, sir.
I got your joke.
That's hilarious.
That was cute.
No, I'm
That's-
sorry. It's
Yeah.
I have joke Tourette's. I have to say it. I don't
That was
want
a
to
definite
explode.
Tourette situation right there.
Oh, that was a reach. Sorry, folks.
I think, and you know, wait, there's something I really need to hit on, especially with you, okay, boom. When you say ancestral and healing, you know, one thing that I feel like really messed us up is the weaponization of Christianity. Because I feel like that when it comes down to black culture, like right now, I smell like Yema Ya and Oshun, baby.
Come on.
And Chanel. So, but what I'm saying is that when it comes down to our ancestors, is that there needs to be a de-demonizing, because I feel like with Christianity, what has happened and with these churches is that they have demonized a lot of culture, and we are afraid of betraying God when we reach and when we're even curious. I mean, I deal with that because it's about I think also another thing with healing is decolonizing our mind to even be able to read about, like me reading Yummy. I'll be putting on my Yummy perfume shit. I'll be like, shit. I'll be like, look, God, this ain't nothing against you. I like the Yummy, so don't strike me down. But what I'm saying is that is really like, because when you got people's mind to a point to where you think that investigation of your own culture, your curiosity, that is something that is a stronghold. And
I'm psychological slavery.
I am in psychological bondage, damn it. I still wear my Yemaya, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that to look at these deities in a way, I mean, I'm not about to sit there and worship and get down and pray to the broad or nothing. But what I'm saying, I still acknowledge, like, girl, I'm not. But what I'm saying is respecting and like and having a curiosity and like I've
Mhm.
always been a curious cat.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but I'm
Mhm.
saying, but that is something that we really have to fight. So when you talk about ancestral healing, I think that's one of the things that really stagnates a lot of our growth and
Mhm.
healing is that we're still under this
Mhm. Mhm.
the
Mhm.
shackles of mental
Christianity.
slavery,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
you know.
You know what turned me on my head with Christianity is A Birth of a Nation, that came out. It's the
Mm.
newer version that came out. The story of Nat Turner, and how Nat Turner, who is infamously known for his slave rebellions, where he went on plantations and he killed the masters and whoever else was there. But before he gets to that point, The Birth of a Nation tells the story of how Nat Turner was essentially trained to preach to the slaves on his plantation. He was an excellent orator, and they
Mm.
realized that he had this skill. But what it tells in that movie is that they, first of all, the slaves couldn't read. So they learned to preach the Bible by listening to only what they were told they could preach.
Mm.
We had a tongue of spirituality before that happened. But something happened and lost in translation where it was beat out of us, where we couldn't
Mhm.
keep our ancestral, our indigenous practices around religion. And we held on to Christianity because that's all that we had. And we needed something spiritually to get us out of those times.
Right.
Um, but it was that movie that flipped me on my head with Christianity. And also for our honeymoon, we went to the Door of No Return.
Oh, what is that?
And it's one of the slave castles
Mhm.
on the west coast
Oh, wow.
of the continent. We were in Ghana.
Mhm.
I can't remember what was the name of the particular slave castle, but when we visited that slave castle, so you're right there on the water, the
Okay.
ocean. That was the last place before they were put on the ships, and then they were brought over to the Americas. On one side, it says the door of no return. For those of us that are coming back, it says welcome back.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's hella dope.
But here's the thing that got me when I was there. They showed us in the castle where the male slave dungeon was, and the fact that the church was right on top.
Wow.
So I'm trying to, and when I went down in that dungeon, there was like a window that was maybe this big right here. So no light, all dark. People stayed in there. Our ancestors stayed in there for months with no light. And right on top of them were the people honoring Christianity in church, praising the God that they forced on our tongues. Help me understand how the God you serve
Right. Validate that.
dated that shit.
Right.
And then you forced that on my tongue and took everything that was mine away from me to
Mhm.
serve your God that told you to enslave me.
Mm.
Hmm.
So you went to Africa. So hold on. So you went to Africa on your honeymoon. That sounds like some very killer thing to do.
For sure.
Yeah. So tell me, what was that journey like? Like, how did that idea come up? How did like how was the trip? Like, just give me like a rundown, because that sounds very, to be tied, to tie yourself spiritually with someone, and for your honeymoon to go to Africa. That's very, because most black people, we still function under white supremacy. So we'd be like, oh, we want to go to Europe. We want to go to, you know what I'm saying? All these
Mm-hmm.
colonized
Mm-hmm.
places. And then
Mm-hmm.
two, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
traveling, one thing about me for traveling that I've noticed is that I remember when we went to Hawaii and I was just like, I feel like I'm in San Francisco still. These motherfuckers tricked me. Damn it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when it comes down to traveling, if I don't have a cultural experience, I really don't want to go,
Mm-mm.
because you're still in the maze. So for you to have, like, that's really dope. Like, to go back to the motherland. Was that your first time going back to Africa?
That was.
What was the thought behind that? Because I know it was a whole big old thought
You know,
process.
it was very intentional.
Yeah.
It was very intentional. Yeah. So a few things. One, Chris and I have traveled many different places before
Mm-hmm.
we officially got married and jumped over that broom. So we got married in New Orleans. jumped over the broom, did the tradition that our enslaved ancestors did when they got married off of plantations. I kind of intentionally wanted to like travel back in time
That's dope.
as a couple to like really formalize our being together and our spirits. Um, I saw something years ago before we got married that said the most revolutionary thing that you can do is
Marry a
fall in.
black woman. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I
Period.
don't think I don't. Can I just say something? Because this is burning my balls.
Excuse me?
Oh, you didn't know she had
No,
them?
I'm
What?
29 episodes
What?
in, and I
Yeah.
Invisible. One and I don't think people understand why. Let's say, for example, if me and you wanted to go to Chinatown right now and open up a Chinese market. Guess what? We couldn't do it.
We couldn't do it.
If we wanted our children to run for Miss Chinatown, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that when these men, and I'm a product of some interracial mixing and shit like that, and my daughter is too, so I'm not knocking it. But what I'm saying is that once you go over to somebody else's culture, you forfeit all of your communal power. The community is the woman and the children. So therefore, if you marry an Asian woman, guess what? You will never be a king of Chinatown. You will never be able to open up a market as a black man in Chinatown. Your children will not be able to be. What I'm saying is that the preservation of the community, you supposed to be leading your community. So when you forfeit the leadership in your community, you forfeit to marry your woman, you forfeit to marry your children, you forfeit to build up your community, you forfeit to invest in your community, you forfeit to respect and protect your community, you forfeit to tell these niggas stop shooting so wildly in the community. You have given up all of your political, spiritual power. So that's what she means by that. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to say
And that has been a public service announcement from Ghetto Poet.
Period.
No, because they don't understand that.
Yeah.
It don't matter what that's like if I was, guess what? If I'd have been married to an Indian man and they had that meeting, I still wouldn't able to go because I ain't Indian. I
Got
ain't
one of the
Indian.
meetings too?
You can't go either, Paul.
I know. You won't even tell me what they've done.
Because she don't know. They told her they can't go.
She taught me yee, and I still can't go.
You can't say it like they ain't gonna let you get up in there doing that.
No.
No, you can't do ye. So I'm sorry, I had to, because I don't think people understand that they forfeit all of that.
Yeah.
Then too, they was doing, a lot of people don't know that, like when they was running all them tests on us, if they was making, mulattoes and quadroons and stuff like that, they was breeding us like dogs. So what they was doing also, they was trying to figure out how to make a super nigga. That's what they was. They was doing that. So you have a lot of people who, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a victim of it myself. Because what happened was is that if my daughter was to, let's say if she was going to marry an Asian man, she done fucked the black up out of us. We ain't gonna be black no more. We gotta keep it 100. If you have white supremacist ideology and you go off marrying a white woman, then you bring them kids to a white community and they go into white schools and their girlfriends is white. How many generations of that shit you gonna have? Look at Mr. Jones. Your seeds is gonna be Caucasian.
Next time you go on this rant, I need to superimpose a 100 over the front of it with a big old brand mark.
That's the trees I know.
Right. What I'm saying is that I shouldn't have been messing around with no Asians and shit. You feel me? I'm too light skinned for that shit.
Yeah, we love you, Tristy.
Yeah, we do. She'll be watching. I'll tell her this shit.
Yeah, I know you do all the time.
All the time.
So when I was very intentional, knowing that there's a lot of counter forces to rip black people apart, I wanted to do everything in my power to spiritually protect us. And so after we got married, that was the first place that I wanted to go. At our wedding, we had pictures of our ancestors. We had an altar for them. I put every picture of every ancestor that we had in my backpack. And when I went through that door of no return that said, "Welcome back," I had them with me.
Ooh.
And
wow, that's
it was
powerful.
Ancestors from his family, and it was ancestors from my family. And I said, "We back, y'all. We made it back."
Oh, did you cry?
I did.
Oh, what kind of cry was that? what kind of, where did he, because I feel like crying hearing it. So what, that must be an amazing feeling. I'm sure it's like nothing you ever felt before.
Yeah, it was quiet. It was soft.
Uh-huh.
And it came like I can feel it right now. It's right up in here.
Mm-hmm.
It was a combination of it coming from like from my pelvic all the way up, straight up to my heart. Um yeah, I was just very thankful, a lot of gratitude, and wanted to honor all of the ancestors that protected him, that protected me,
Mm.
that allowed us to come back and touch the grounds again of where our people left. Um, and wanted to ask them to continue to guide us, hold us down, because being married is hard. It's not easy. Um, so that was the first place that I wanted to go after we got married. There was no other place for us to go but there.
Oh, that is beautiful. But I feel like the that's a heavy emotion. You know what I'm saying? But how freeing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's not it's sadness, it's happiness. It's like that little girl in Fillmore brought her ass to Africa, god damn it. With everybody motherfucking ancestors in the backpack. Girl, if you had a picture of me and that motherfucker.
He wasn't in there.
Damn it. Right, I ain't no
He was
ancestor
in my
yet.
heart yet.
Right.
He was in my heart.
But that, and you know what, that can actually be something that people do. I think that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
bring all their girl, if I get married, I'm about to have a backpack full of shit. I don't give a damn. I have my friends up in there too. But that could be something that Black people start doing, because I feel like you said, it like all the ancestors that protect, because I know there's a God and some ancestors, because boy Jesus, I should have been dead about 50 11 times. And I
Like
know
a
that
cat with
there's
9 lives.
woo, I got them.
You do.
I do. I got 9 lives. But I think that is so powerful, and that's something that I feel like that could be, I think like what you saying, that you're an ancestor in training, that girl, you need to get a hat to say that shit. But that's one of them things that you could pass down. You pass it on to me, because when I get my Black ass married, I'm about to be like, I need me a backpack to bring all my shit. I'm gonna be like Dora the Explorer. Backpack. No, because you gotta do that. And I feel like to get back to Africa with that intention. Like it's a difference between walking around a damn resort. But you like, no.
Nah, we
going to the point
door of no return.
And it's interesting because my dude, he's from Mobile, Alabama, which is the last slave port. It might have been the first, but it definitely
Actually, maybe it could have
what
been.
you know what? There's actually
they did come around. They
right.
did.
So that was the last slave. So the last slave ship from Africa was actually
found not too how many years ago? They found the remains of it.
They did. Okay, so he know about all that shit. So I'm gonna go to Alabama. I'm like, I need to see. But it was the last ship from Africa that was dropped off in America before they start breeding us.
Yeah.
And there's so much our history, you know what I'm saying, as here in America, but just, you know, and everywhere else. And that shows our connectivity. What else I was going to ask you? Well, I'm ready to listen, because I like this ancestor stuff. I'm ready to, I think I'm an ancestor in training too. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm with it.
Sure.
I'll come back.
For sure. It's an assignment. It's a task. At some point, we have to lean into that to leave a blueprint behind. The reason why I'm intentional about what I do is because I paid attention and I had access to those who came before me. So, you know, when you are someone in your family who cut yourself off from your family, think about that. What you doing? What you cutting off? What do you need to do to get back to a place of being in communication with each other? Because it is your job to continue the cycle of passing information down. And if y'all ain't talking to each other, then you gonna pass shit down.
That's very true.
Yeah.
You could call your cousin and ask them. You be like, I ain't talking to that motherfucker. Ask them this for me. But that is true, because I feel like you have to be intentional with your healing.
Yeah, you do.
And I think that everything is like, everybody envision shit through rose-colored glasses. You know, you're like, oh my god, this is just gonna be this wonderful experience, and it's like, no, shit is hard, hard, and it hurts.
It
damn
hurts.
Oh, it hurt.
I
know.
got my first tattoo, Trees.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes.
When
I was in Brazil.
Oh, see, that's the way to get a first tattoo.
Yeah.
I still ain't got none.
Let me tell you the reason why I got it though, because I felt a level of pain back in September that hit so hard because I was thrusted into healing around some shit that I didn't even expect. I was like, oh fuck, I'm ready to get a tattoo. If I can feel that type of pain, I can get a tattoo. So we about to do a whole sleeve now.
You got a whole damn sleeve?
Not yet.
Oh, you about to do?
I'm about to
So
start.
it's gonna be like an artist. And you know what? That's one thing I'm happy I didn't get when I was growing up was a tattoo. I still want some gold teeth though.
Oh, I was looking.
You know, my
online
dude want to buy
too.
me some gold teeth, and I was like, no, I want to. Girl, I'm getting some damn gold teeth.
Yeah,
Fuck it, yeah, why not? And yeah. See, I haven't gotten a tattoo yet, but then too, I'm very outrageously vocal about what I'm going through. You know damn well I'll be like, I feel like this, and I'm butt naked. Bitch. Shit.
Facts.
So if you wanted, you need some consulting about some healing. Because I feel like, healing is I feel like people hide it to a point to where when you see somebody healing and going through that transformation, I've been through a few, and it is not pretty. Birth is not pretty. So the renewing of yourself, it don't have to be in a way I do. Everybody do it different. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't give a fuck. And I'll record the shit too, and I'll put it online.
You sure do.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm about to make me a documentary out of all that shit.
You should.
I am. What the fuck you think I did it for?
I don't know why you did it, but thank you for telling me.
Thank you, welcome. But so therefore, I think that yeah, you wanted something real big, Killer. You ever think about writing a book?
If I could sit down long enough.
Girl, you could talk into the damn phone.
That's true.
And then you could have it be about being a future ancestor. Because I don't feel like there's quite a few people out there Black women who have already done a lot of work around ancestors and training. I can't recall none of their names right now, but look them up on IG. I feel like one of their pages is literally ancestors and training. Yeah, and I think, and you know what's funny? It's like I feel like there's always it's almost like we're in a play, and everybody want to dress the part of this or dress the part of that.
Yeah.
And I think that when you are, we all are ancestors in training in one way or another, and it's about defining. Once you identify with that, I feel like the set of like I feel more responsible. Like since you've said that, I've been like, this is a big deal.
Assignment.
Yeah, like
it
I'm
is.
like,
This is. And not only is it like an individual assignment, it's a group assignment. Everybody got a piece to play to make sure it's set up for the next generation.
That's very true. Yeah, because it definitely comes with interconnectivity. Because, like thinking about, Big Mama, shout out Big Mama, Big Shura.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when, there'd be times where I wouldn't have nobody up at my, my meetings, and she just became my surrogate mama.
Yeah,
she was just
showed up.
Yeah, even when I was up in juvenile hall, and I looked out into the when I went to juvie, her ass was up there like, okay, at my court date. So we have a lot of people that come into our lives. Oh, do you know Miss T died?
No.
Shut the fuck up. Miss T just died. That's now Miss T is an ancestor. Dr. Salamawi Tarefa. Actually, she went and got her damn, Miss T was with it.
Yeah.
And so therefore, and I remember I contacted her before the pandemic, and I was just like, hey, I'm sorry for cussing you out, Miss T. Look, forgive me and call me shit. It's been long enough. So therefore, I'm glad that I reached out to her and stuff like that. And she definitely holds a always in my mind and in my heart, so yeah, I think it's something about this ancestor, like in training, and I think the in training part is very,
because just because you old don't mean or just because you pass don't mean that you get the rights. Like, you have to do the work.
Correct. So what kind of work in the future could we expect from you?
Oh, that's a good question. My goal for the next 3 years is to pour into Black women right. So Black Women Right, you can look us up on IG. Black Women Right is a conjuring space. I believe in witchery.
Oh no.
Um,
Brujerías.
yeah. Listen, they put a negative connotation on that word
Mhm.
to distract us and deter us from the power that we have when we gather together with intentions. Um, and conjure. So, Black Women Write is a communal conjuring space for Black women. I believe in the power of writing things down because when you
Mhm.
write them down, you manifest them. They become real. They become true.
They fucking really do.
What is
It's
spell
scary.
casting? It is
Right.
spell casting is what you're doing when you write things down.
Mhm.
So every Monday 9 a.m. Log on, DM us for the Zoom link, and begin spell casting what you want for your life. Be disciplined about it. Be obedient about it. So I think that that's what people can look from me is I'll be pouring more into that and
Mhm.
creating these spaces where Black women can do the work of taking care of themselves, healing themselves,
Mhm.
prioritizing ourselves instead of taking care of everybody else.
Hmm.
When we take care of ourselves, we take care of everybody else.
That is absolutely the truth.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, cause you sent me a book for my birthday,
I did. Which
a
one?
journal,
Yeah.
Black Women Write.
Yeah.
Where that book come from?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Y'all made that damn book?
That was me.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Why you didn't tell me?
What you mean? I thought you
I
knew.
didn't know.
Yeah, we got volume 3 coming out now.
Really?
Yeah, we got 3 volumes. Volume
Why you
1,
didn't
volume
tell
2,
me?
volume 3. I know I should have bought them. My bad.
Dude, I was looking at the book and I was like, I'm gonna grab the book, but I was trying to hurry up and get out
Yeah.
the house. Okay, so anyway, boom. So you didn't tell me you wrote
Listen,
that damn book.
I'll come back. I'll come back.
All right.
We'll talk about
So
that.
anyway, so for my birthday, and I'm up in this book and I'm like, this is the best book I ever motherfucking somebody ever gave me. And I just started writing in this damn book. I was like, damn, this book hella dope. I'm telling people, you didn't tell. I even went on the damn page online. I was like, this the damn best book. And you didn't tell me that was no damn you. That's why when you put at Black Women, right? I was like, what is she talking about? Well, I didn't, not that I was questioning. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised. But that's some killer shit.
Yeah.
That's dope as fuck. Actually, going to Black Women Right, they got some dope ass, interactive, empowering journals. I think every Black woman, girl, and child should have one. I actually want to get one for my folks. I'm about to go visit after this for his daughter. And then Meow Meow. I need to get one for her too. I need to get one, but I feel like that's one of them universal books because it actually every month there's a quote from a Black writer, Black women writer, and it says Black women write on the covers. It's very fucking nicely damn packaged. I need to mess with y'all with publishing my next damn book because that was some very professional.
Actually,
it's a beautiful.
we getting ready to do a newer version with stone paper. So we getting ready to upgrade the journals to stone paper. You know what stone paper is?
No.
They don't smear, they don't tear, if they're water resistant. So
Oh, so immortalize your see that's what that's why our name Killa. Y'all need to go onto Black. Could we bring that up actually? Is there any way we could bring black women right?
Mm-hmm.
It is
It's spelled all funky.
nah, I like the way it's spelled.
Okay.
Nah, that shit was fly.
No, but I'm saying I can't recall that right now. It's like BL.
Is there a
W? Actually,
I had texted to you, Paul.
oh, you did. Okay.
No, I texted to Paul.
Okay.
It's in one of the ads.
It's one in what?
One of her lower thirds. I put this one or this one.
Oh.
We gotta bring that up because it's like Black woman W.
Okay. You want to bring up that Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I got it.
Okay.
I think.
You didn't know.
I wasn't. No, you didn't say shit. I was just like, this is the most wonderful fucking shit ever. I actually went on and let me see what I don't know which account I did it from. I'll show you after. I think I went on there and left a message. I did. I know I did. I was like, this is the most wonderful shit ever. Because I'm like, they got a web. I was like, they have a Instagram. Oh, I'm following that.
Yeah.
And I think I actually signed up for one. Girl, if I'd have got on there on that damn Zoom and seen you, I'd be like, what you doing here? You'd be like, I'm running shit.
Period.
And Hey, that's hella dope. I'll get in on that. I need to invest in
Well,
that
nigga,
stock.
shit, come on.
Oh hell
Mondays.
yeah! I'm
Every
with
Monday,
it,
we
girl.
there.
And I think I actually signed up for one. Yeah, everybody, you need to go online and hit up. We about to bring it up over there. That shit flies. That shit. Now that's the way
Yeah.
you're supposed to do it, killer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like as far as you writing the book, why didn't you talk about that when I asked you that?
I mean, there's a lot of things to talk about.
It's
I
that
know
one,
it is, but I
right?
like the
It
way.
is that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
And
We'll
there's
follow
such
it.
a great. That damn book is phenomenal. I write in that book. It could be the things you send me is funny. Like when people send me shit is very intentional and inspiring. And I've been writing in it too.
Oh,
I can't wait
I
till the
hope
new one
so.
come out.
Yeah. The new one is so every year has a different theme.
Mhm.
I think the one that I sent you is watering our ancestral gardens. That was at the black cover.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
black cover.
so
Okay,
volume.
here's that page, by the way.
Thank you. Um, so that's the Instagram page. Go check us out. You can purchase the volume 3 journals now. Volume 2 was honoring our elders blueprint. Nikki Giovanni, she was in it last year. Shout out to her spirit. Yep, that's it right there. And then this year's theme is landscaping contemporary legacies. And so it's acknowledging the authors of today's time in the journal. So, yeah.
That's what's up. And that's what I think is so important for us now to put things for the people in the future because we
Blueprints.
are modern day historians.
Yes, we are. We are.
And it's so important that I feel like people like Dead Power. I wrote a poem about that.
I bet you did.
You know I did. And I was talking about like y'all like Dead Power, like talking about when it comes to women, like you like us when we in the ground, and when you get to talk about us when we're no longer active, not when we
Ooh. Right,
full
because
of
they can't
energy.
stand us when we here.
Ooh, they can't stand us. They be like that bitch talk too much.
Period.
She thinks she all that.
She thinks she all that.
Right. So yeah, thank you so much. I knew this was going to be fly. So this isn't going to be the first time. This is actually going to be a series. So you're welcome back whenever you want to come. And y'all make sure y'all check out Black Women Write. I'm telling you, I got the book. I didn't even know that she was anything a part of it. I wish you'd have told. I mean, I think it's actually I like my organic moment with the book when I was like, these are the best damn books. You already knew I was gonna think that. That's why he sent it to me.
Yeah, it was perfect for you.
No, it's perfect for me.
Yeah.
I got that shit. I carry that shit around like the Bible.
I bet you did. That's the whole point.
That's
the whole point.
You know what?
That's the whole point. We write our own Bibles. We are our own Bibles. Write that shit down.
Modern day historians, you know what I'm saying? Who's to tell me God ain't talking to me, nigga? I'm a prophet.
Period.
You feel me? Look, they're gonna try to ban me. They gonna be like, that bitch thinks she Jesus. Ban me. Because they
say God is a black woman.
Girl, watch, I'm gonna show you something when we get up off this line. You gonna be like this. You gonna be like this, yeah. No, that's been coming to me in a certain way. I you know, it is funny. I was having an interesting conversation with somebody. I was like, what if God was a woman?
I mean,
Ooh, it'll be a lot of motherfuckers frying in hell. Now, hopefully, God would be more compassionate than the one that they.
I mean, we are very compassionate, very empathic, very benevolent spirits, but don't try us, because we will also put you in your place respectfully where you need to be, because clearly you don't know how to be in line.
What's your favorite quote, killer?
Oh, Tony Cade Bombada. Are you sure, honey, you want to be well? That's it. That's the first line of the book.
Are you sure, honey, you want
to be well?
To be well. What does that mean to you? Because that's an interesting quote. It's not like stereotypical. That's very.
That's your sister calling me.
Oh,
Goose, Danny.
What's up, Danny? All right.
What does that mean to me? When I opened the book. It's the first line in the book, and then I closed it. I said, well, shit, I guess I ain't ready. And that was years ago. It was a mirror. It was a mirror.
Are you sure you want to be well? I think that's a question everybody. I mean, you know what? I've asked myself. Shit. Remember last time I went to the AA meeting, I said I ain't gonna be up in here lying to you motherfuckers. Y'all gonna come in here and lie. I'm not. Guess what? I'm not an alcoholic, and I'm gonna drink when I feel like it. Cause some of y'all been smoking crack last weekend and fucking hookers, and you gonna come up in here and lie. But I'm not. So therefore, I think that there's a radical honesty that you have to have with yourself.
Yes.
And I believe in harm reduction. So there's times to where there's things that the overindulgence in it can hurt us, and that could be anything, like
anything. Food.
Ooh,
For me, it's sugar.
I love chocolate.
Oof. I just love sugar.
I'm guilty.
Mm-hmm.
What else, Killer? Because our time is about up. So
That's it. We'll be back. This was fun. Thanks, Trees.
oh yeah, no, absolutely. Come back whenever. You can also take over. Like, you right down the street. Shit. Okay, boom. So also I have some resources for everybody because it's these fake ass holidays coming up, and people. This is a lot of people are high risk for like suicide. There's a lot of violence going on. People trying to rob each other for all these materialistic things.
Yeah.
So therefore, I want to put up like some resources.
And I thought you were just sending these personally to me, especially the first one. These are hotlines. There's the suicide hotline at 800-273-8255. The addiction hotline at 800-950-4291. The eating disorder hotline, 800-931-2237. And the depression hotline at 800-931-2237. They're all almost the same. There's a couple of them there. But I thought you were sending this to me personally, and I was saying thank you because I need it this time of year. Suicide, addiction, eating, and depression. That's like the 4-ring circus for me. Mm-hmm. And those are hotlines. Mm-hmm. And then we have this thing that's called warm lines. Warm lines are warm lines that police will not call after you've called them. Mm. We like those. Mm-hmm. When you need those resources and you don't feel like the next call is going to be to the police. It's everything from the call black line. There's the trans lifeline, the Wildflower Alliance peer support line, the Strong Hearts Native helpline, the Thrive Lifeline, and the LGBT National Help Center. And I would suggest doing a screenshot of these. Keep them on your phone. Again, it's that time of year, but any time of year, it's great to have these resources in your phone so that you can give them out to yourself or others.
Yeah, and I think one more thing, people don't understand there's HIPAA, there's all kind of stuff to where you have to be very careful about who you call and what you disclose. That's nothing I could really conversate about, you know what I'm saying? Because I just wasn't ready for that conversation. But I would say before you make a call, make sure that you're protecting your own best interests first. Also, and that you're calling to receive information and support. Have boundaries with these facilities because they're also, just humans that are also imperfect. So make sure that you can protect yourself and your interests. Just be weary of, like you could put yourself.
Ain't always help.
Yeah, help ain't always help, and also having your own boundaries, and using common sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes people could go off and be calling these motherfuckers, and next thing you know, you got the police at your damn door. You like, goddamn, motherfucker, I didn't need all that. I done cussed out some police in my day. Fuck you doing here? I didn't call you, motherfucker. I ain't opening the door either, bitch. I hit this fence. Kick that motherfucker if you want. Shit, you gonna need a helicopter to some dogs to find me. Fuck you. But it shouldn't have to be. I'm being funny, to put light to a situation. So again, we about to be up out of here. So this is Marquita. Don't call her killer.
And you do have a message out there, just to let you know. I'm going to share this fan message.
Okay.
Fan message is, one thing that makes me mad is that so many people in the Bay Area would love this podcast if they only knew where we can find it and cherish it. So there it is.
Oh.
So there we go. We love it.
Hey. Yeah, and then I'm about to be printing up these hats right now. Only very specific people have them. Like them my walls, you know what I'm saying? Like them my folks. So these ones, but I do have the Ghetto Poet hats too, so there's merch for sure. You could find us on Instagram at Ghetto Poet Podcast Radio. Boom. Then you can find us on YouTube at Ghetto Poet 415. Then we be on Facebook. I don't want y'all to be coming on my personal one, so I'm gonna start posting, sharing these to Ghetto Poet, and that's on Facebook. Aren't we on? We on Twitch, right?
We are currently on Twitch at Ghetto Poet 415.
Oh, we on Twitch at Ghetto Poet 415. And you're welcome to share the live. And then too, you could hit me. I am always looking for new people. But I'm gonna keep it 100. It's like if you ain't got something positive, uplifting to say, like don't even hit me. Like I'm not, this ain't like, I get it. Like you feel me? Like y'all be wanting to do y'all thing, but it's like this is really a space for future ancestors.
Training.
No, for real. This is that space, and that's what this ain't no messy podcast. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. This is for upliftment. This is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't no hater, and boom. So I'm your ghost with the most, Bella Bella.
And then Marquita, where can we catch everything that you're doing? Any shout outs that you want to do?
Absolutely. So y'all can find me on IG at Black Women Right. You can also find me at Mrs. Bedeaux. That's MRSBEDEAUX. That's what happens when you marry that Louisiana man.
Let me see. There it go, right? There. There's her Instagram.
If you want to learn more about Embrace, you can also look us up on IG, Embrace Black Hair. And then our website is www.embraceblackhair.org. If you know anybody that is pregnant, that is Black, send them our way.
And then there's also Black Women Right. There's that info there. And then back to you.
Thank you for anybody that tuned in. Hopefully, y'all need to go get that damn journal. I'm gonna keep 100. Also, what it do TV? I'm gonna put these up the next time I come because this is pretty dope, but I don't have no time to really talk about it. But like and subscribe to What It Do Live. This my folks. Thank you for tuning in. That was thank you, Killer. Coming through. You feel me? I already knew that shit was gonna be dope. I was like Marquita, she with the shit. Shout out to San Francisco, everybody. Stay warm. Make sure your heart is warm. Make sure your spirit's warm. And when you give and receive at this time of the year or any time of the year, honestly, like for real, like really have, like I've been trying to function in a space of gratitude. Because I realize that most Black people are hoarders. And
listen, I just got finished purging. I'm not done. I got 2 more rooms to go. I do it every year, like 2 times a year. You got to get rid of shit.
You got to get rid of shit. So, and be able to pass it on. I know I'm big into like donating or giving somebody stuff because I think that's
what I did?
What?
Here's something that y'all can do. So there's giving to Goodwill. That's one thing. But if you have clothes, go sell them at Crossroads or Buffalo Exchange, and then put the money that you get on a gift card, and then give the gift card to somebody and let them go pick out what they want for free.
That's a good ass idea.
Hell
And
yeah.
I remember when I used to be broke, I used to do shit like that.
Yeah.
And 2, I would do that with books and movies and stuff too. Yeah, there's hella ways you can hustle.
If you got a whole bunch of jackets in your closet, get them out. When you come to a podcast here in San Francisco, just start handing them to the homeless.
Yeah.
They need them.
Yeah. Give
So
it out.
do whatever you can. Be inventive. Get out there. Do something.
Mutual
Hug
aid.
the ones you love.
We take care of each other.
Right.
Hug
Right.
those ones you love, folks.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your time, your energy, your efforts. Hopefully, somebody out there get inspired. Hopefully, there's some healing that's gonna go on. We ain't just giving objects, but maybe we just, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we can inspire people to heal. Because I know I'm inspired to heal more. So this is your Ghetto Poet, Bella, 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 and I'm out. Peace.